Hello, awakened souls, beautiful starseeds and lightworkers. Thank you so much for joining me again for another video here on this channel. My name is Jenny. This is Starseed Academy. So the last video that I put out was about the Great Divide. A lot of people really resonated with that download because it's something that we've been talking about for so long. And then when it started to happen, it's like a lot of us didn't recognize it. And of course, what I'm referring to, if you haven't seen that video yet, please check it out. It was a huge download about how that's actually exactly what's taking place right now in the world with humanity. The Great Divide between, like, if you want to use the labels, to make it easier, we use labels, right? So the 3D and the 5D pathways and the two different worlds and souls are choosing right now. It's your choice. It's literally a choice what path you go down. See, we do have a choice because a lot of us feel like we don't have a choice in things right now. We feel like everything's being forced, taken from us in the world. And a lot of this has to do with the V and V passports, and there's a huge divide and separation happening in humanity right now, which is literally creating two completely different worlds, especially once that V passport goes through, and it has already in many places, and it's going into effect here in Canada on the 22nd of September, thus creating two completely different societies, two worlds, the Great Divide. So watch that video if you haven't seen it yet, because this is going to be a continuation of that information. So I just know that there's more to come through, and I don't know exactly what wants to come through. I want to channel it live here for you, but I think it's connected to a lot of different things, and I just want to leave this space open for what wants to come through from Source. Okay, so because I want to channel some things live for you here today, I am going to set up the sacred space. I do encourage that you do this with me. You'll get so much more out of the video and even have your own downloads. And all you have to do is just place your hands over your heart. Take 3 deep breaths with me with your eyes closed as you tune in. And as you're taking those 3 deep breaths, I'm going to take our crown chakras, the white light on the top of your head, spiraling that upwards now, watching it go all the way to the doorway of Source, God Source, the Great Spirit, and we are accepted and welcomed in and anchored into the heart of Source, being held in the highest light at the top of our energy. And then at the bottom at the root chakra, taking that root chakra, spiraling it downwards, all the way down to the crystal heart of Gaia, anchoring there as well. And then asking Archangel Michael to please set up protective energy around all of us, each one of us watching this video, and around me. Golden protective energy, so that we are safe to open up, to channel, and that what comes through is for the highest good of humanity and the earth, and is of the truth and of the light. And that my intention here for this video today is that what comes through is for the highest good of the timeline that we're on, of humanity, of the awakened souls, and the earth. Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you for doing that with me. So, the Great Divide, huh? Wow. It's just so crazy to see it in our lifetimes, you know? We've been reading about it in books, listening to spiritual teachers talk about it for how long, and here it is on our doorstep. It's amazing. And it's scary and exciting. It's both, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot of adrenaline, for sure. It's also igniting the freedom fighters around the world, which is very important for what's to come. It is very important for the freedom fighters, the free will agents, the awakened souls that feel called to rebalancing free will here on the earth for humanity. So I feel called to that mission. I know many of you do as well. I feel like a free will agent inserted here to help bring that back into balance. Everything's about balance and oneness, right? So I'm seeing a vision right now of this event, which we knew was going to happen. I remember saying in the last full moon video that there was a big event that was going to be sweeping across the world, that it would be global, that it would be connected to COVID. Here we are. It's the V passport. That's the event. So the event is sparking or igniting in people. I see it in their heart or in their minds like a flame. And it's the freedom fighter flame, right? It's really important for what's to come. This is a very important step to bringing those agents of free will online, awakened, getting them started, getting them awake, activated, ignited, and ready to go. Because I'm seeing that this is really going to come into play and be very important, that the freedom fighters are activated and also coming together. It's important that they find each other, which is what's happening now. They're forced to start up their own society, literally, to exist, because they've been kicked out of one society and are starting up another, but they're finding each other, they're activated, they're ignited. I'm a part of that. So that's really important for things to come. So I feel like there's more there. Excuse me. So I'm asking Source to send down, or I'm pulling down the information like a strand. I want to know more about that. Why do we need to find each other? Why are we being ignited into these freedom roles? Because the two worlds splitting, the 3D to the 5D, the Great Divide, the split, it's not as if the 3D is going to actually just let us go that easily. It's almost like I still see energy hands reaching out to try to pull us back in, and we're like determined, and we're going on our own pathway. And that doesn't mean that, then I saw our families, right? A lot of us have families that are maybe not awakened yet. And reminder, this has nothing to do with the status. It's not about if you've had or haven't had it. Many people that have had it are freedom fighters. They chose that because of their own personal beliefs, which is valid and amazing. It's not about that. It's about free will and having a choice. And they do not agree with the V passport at all. So many people don't agree with it, and it isn't about the V status, okay? So just keep that in mind, because that's a trap that you can get caught into. That's very egoic trap, where if you just identify or, classify, like separate people like that, you're wrong. It's not about that. That's the separation game. That's what they want us to believe. They want us to believe that they don't care about us. And it's not true. There are so many more people that believe in freedom and free will and all of that, and do care about everyone. They care about humanity in general, but especially their friends and family that are making different choices, and they're supporting us and standing up for those rights. So don't fall for the trap that we are all alone and that they don't care. It's not true. It's not true. I know some people don't. Some people that are really asleep and really plugged in to that matrix programming, and they just parrot it. That's all they say is just regurgitate the news and the facts and the science and all of that. There are definitely some people like that, but a lot of people are awakening. This is awakening people just going through this alone. So it's really just like, it's beautiful in a way. And it takes extreme circumstances to wake people up. Think about your own awakening for a sec and how extreme that probably was. A lot of us had to hit rock bottom in many ways to actually be awakened. And it can happen multiple times. Like, I've had lots of dark nights of the soul periods in my life, and they always wake me up to a new level of awakening within myself, a new authenticity, a new openness, a new amount of high frequencies being held within the body. Like, that's ascension, right? so many changes. So it's really difficult sometimes to view hard things as blessings, but this truly is. It truly is. So it's just waking people up. It's activating and igniting all of the different free will thinkers, free thinkers, freedom fighters around the world. And it's all going to be for the highest good. We are on track. That's what I'm hearing right now. It's like, we actually are on track. There are always potential timelines lined up. And of course, we all would love to take the free, easy timeline where everybody comes together into 5D. But the universe or God or source can see the energy. Like, everything is so divinely orchestrated. It's not chaos. Can read the energy on the planet and see, okay, what do they need to get there? They need a little more of this to get there, because we're going to get there eventually to that beautiful golden age where we're all coming together in freedom, free will, unconditional love, Christ consciousness. All of those beautiful things are coming to Earth. They are coming to humanity. It's already begun and it can't be stopped. So what Source or God does, the Great Spirit, whatever word you like, is have a look at the energy and read it and see, okay, well, actually they need a little more of this to get them there. What do they need to get them to that end point? So we needed more igniting of free will thinkers and freedom fighters. We needed more people to awaken through shock and horror sometimes, and trauma and all of that. Okay, what else? There's more coming through. Okay, and that's also why they're showing me a few things, that there's going to be some really big natural disasters coming up in the next 6-month period, maybe even shorter. Really big. I feel like, I heard and saw China. Whether or not I'm interpreting that right, it seems like it's going to be a natural disaster there really soon, within months anyway. And that is another way. All of these are ways to wake people up. All of it is necessary. It's not chaos, okay? It is divinely orchestrated, just like your own life. You just use your own life as an example. When you think why did that happen? What is going on? This is so awful. But then in hindsight, you're like, oh, because that was a horrible place for me to be, or a horrible person for me to be with. No wonder it all fell apart, right? Something, and more than just that area. There's definitely going to be some natural disasters hitting, big ones. It's not going to be just swept under the rug. It's going to be devastating and all over the internet. And then also they're talking about Afghanistan right now, and just a lot of the trauma and the horror there. It's how much more do people need to wake up? I don't know, but it's mirroring to people their worst fears. I think a lot of people's worst fears are, things like war, and definitely terrorist activity. I think that's a lot of people's worst nightmares. And it's interesting how we have mirrored to us or reflected to us a lot of our worst possible fears before we'll wake up. It's insane. But it's all a play that's being played out to help humanity awaken. It's heavy. It's really heavy. And I know that, and I don't want to detract from the trauma, the heaviness, the sadness. It's not right. It's insane. But I just want to say that it's not all for no reason. That's what I'm saying. It's for a reason. It's not pointless suffering. It's all going to be a catalyst for this grand awakening, worldwide, global. We are going to see that in our lifetimes. And it's things are sped up right now. Everything just seems to be happening so fast. In what year is it? I don't even know anymore. 2021. In 2020 and 2021, how much has happened? It's been a year and 8 months. In that time period, just think about everything that we've seen and dealt with. Like, it's biblical. It's literally biblical. Plagues, riots, the earth, fires, just everything. It's literally biblical. It's so crazy. So it's just going to continue, and that is why we are all being activated and ignited to come together to help others, right? So when these things happen, there is a new wave of awakening. There's always new waves of awakening happening. And then those people really need support. It's very scary, especially like trying to imagine waking up in this kind of environment. It's crazy. It's scary, and they need a lot of support. And so it's happening in waves. It doesn't happen all at once. So then we can support the next wave and the next wave and the next wave. So if you are being called to start your own spiritual business, get out of the 9-to-5 programming, being of service to others, speaking your truth, healing people, offering readings, alignments, counseling, guidance, that's why. Because we need you, and it's time. And everybody that has those codes within them, they're being turned on right now in a big way, and you're being called in a big way. You're going to feel so drawn to that work, and so drawn to service, and so drawn to helping others, whether that be one-on-one individual or like a group. You're going to feel really, or both. You can do both. All of those little ignited flames that I saw, that's what's going to happen. That is how we support freedom and free will, is through supporting each other. That's how. It's not all about protests and I mean, I know that there is a place for that, but I do feel like coming together is more powerful than that. Like coming together in a positive light, helping and healing one another, and becoming the change we want to see in the world, creating that society, and just almost stopping engaging with the other one. Like, let the divide happen and focus on this and kind of just let that go. And I know we're not quite there yet. This is in the future a little bit. I understand the need to awaken all of the freedom fighters through what we're doing. That's the work we're doing now. When we're talking about how like the totalitarianism happening, and talking about how the conspiracy is actually not conspiracy, and talking about the corruption and bringing things to light, that's what we're working on right now. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. We're like, the divide's happening, and we're trying to get as many people on this side to come with us over here. So it's like, guys, wake up. Look at how none of this makes sense. Look at how crazy this is. Like, do you really stand for this? And a lot of people don't and are coming over here. But at a certain point, not long in the future, we will just need to disengage and let that world do its own thing and start our own society over here. That is the great divide. We need to allow them the free will that we ask for. And if those people that are really locked into that 3D paradigm still need that, they will stay there. They need those lessons, and a lot of those lessons are about accountability and victim mentality and figuring that out, right? Which a lot of us have figured out already. Being manifestors and creators and taking responsibility and accountability for the things that show up in your life, right? Over here, they haven't got that yet, but they will. So as the divide continues, it's going to continue. Us protesting or saying all the things that we're saying is to ignite the ones that are still like willing to come over to this side. But I don't think it's going to stop. It's not going to stop that, because that's the trajectory we're on right now. And of course, timelines change all the time. But I know a lot of people have the hope that the V passport is not going to come into play. It's not going to happen. Well, it might in this world, but it doesn't have to in this one. So just go this way, right? We're going to build our own set of rules and society with awakened souls. That's the golden age. This one is going to get, the 3D over here is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and like disintegrate. This is the main one now. This is the main timeline. This is the main world. We are not the outcasts, not for long. Eventually it's going to be the main population rebuilt. And we always heard and knew that we had to let go of the old banking systems, the old financial systems, the old everything system, schooling, healthcare. It all has to kind of just crumble. And that's terrifying because we want to fix it and like work with what we already have so we don't have to completely start over. And that's just not how it works. And we know that. We've been told that how long, right? Like we've been hearing about this for years. I've been hearing about this for years and years. I know that you have too. We've been reading about it. Like, it's here. This is it. This is that great divide. This is a new Earth. This is 5D Earth. It's over here. We just have to build it. So we're going to get all the people that we can that are aligned, only if they're aligned. And then we have to build it from the ground up. That's in the Bible too, right? Like, this is literally biblical about rebuilding a new earth, on earth, a paradise on earth, all of those things. That's in the Bible. So yes, this is just continuation of the video about the download that the V Passport was really the catalyst to create the divide, like the main one. I mean, there's been a lot, but it's like the one that's actually like separating societies through these laws and stuff. So the reason that we continue, because maybe you're wondering, well, if it's supposed to happen and we're supposed to just go over here and build this new society, why fight it? And I was wondering that too in the last video. I remember saying, like, is this even something to fight against then? Like, if it's necessary, like, I'm kind of not really sure. And now the understanding coming through is that the fight against it is to ignite or awaken the last remaining awakened souls to come over before it gets further and further and further away, right? And then, like I said, there's going to be a point where we just disengage from that energy because we have to. And we have to just allow them to do their own thing. It's literally going to be like two different worlds on one planet. I don't know how, but I know that it is. I got chills when I said that. It's going to be so weird. It's going to be so weird. And this stuff has happened on other planets around the universe. Like I'm seeing Mars being one of those examples where like people had to go underground and then like the surface dweller, and it was just so separate. I'm not saying we're going to go underground, and I don't think that we are. But I'm just saying, like, that is an example that two worlds can exist on one planet and there will be distance between us. It's so crazy because it's like every dystopian novel I've ever read too. It's like we've seen the signs for this for so long. So where are you at with all this? How are you feeling? Right now I'm just still engaging and trying to ignite as many people as I can to kind of come over. And then I know that there'll be the disengagement as we build up the 5D New Earth. And I'm just like you, like I'm filled with nerves about it for sure. I worry about a lot of things. You know, your family and friends, you know, and like I was going to say your rights, like, you know, to be able to do things, travel or whatever, but nobody can take that from you. We just have to stop listening. Like, if that's no longer my world, then that's not my government. That is not what's for my highest good. Sorry. Like, I'm just not going to go along with that. I'm literally not going to do that. No, it's not happening. I'm going to go over here with everybody and build this new world knowing that that's all going to crumble. It is crumbling. I don't need to give my sovereignty over to anyone. And I also don't need to be told what I can and cannot do. So however that's going to play out, I mean, nobody can know that. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know if that's the right word. Disengaging from that with the laws, your finances, your business maybe. How do we disengage all of that? Don't know yet, but I'm sure there'll be downloads coming through about that. It's going to happen though. It's going to be slow probably and gradual, I think. I don't know for sure. But I see us all disengaging from all of literally all of it. All the templates, all the rules. It's not working. It needs to go. So, a new earth. Amazing. I'm so excited for that. And that's really important to stay excited and to keep our eye on that. Who do you want to build a 5D new earth with? Who do you want around you? Visualize their beautiful faces with you now. What do you want that world to look like? More in tune with nature? More in tune with holistic, natural, organic plants and animals and ways of being and healing? Just existing in harmony with each other and the earth? We can do it. We can do it. But we can't fix this to become that. It's gotta go. Gotta let that dinosaur, fossil fuel driven society just crumble. And just bring over everybody that you can right now while we're close. That's what we're doing. I know that. And that's why we keep shining the light, shining the light, shining the light. But at a certain point, it'll just be about the rebuild. So we're going to be busy. We're going to be really busy. Anyway, I just want you to get excited and happy and know why it's all happening and why you might still feel the desire to keep. It's not that you're trying to save that world. It's that you're trying to wake people up or help people to see, and they're going to come over. Because I don't even want that. I don't want to save that government. I don't want to save that health system. I don't want to save that financial system. It's all corrupt. You can't heal it. It's corrupt and it needs to go, and we're going to rebuild all of it. A new earth. I'm so excited for that. So I look forward to reading your comments about a new earth. And how you're seeing that maybe already beginning in your life. I shared a little bit about how I was seeing that in the video about the Great Divide, where the people that are being kicked out of the society because of their V status are building their own society, like supporting each other in their work. Okay, who's a teacher? Okay, let's create homeschooling pods. Okay, who's a nurse or a PSW? Okay, let's create our own organized way of like healing one another or supporting you in that. And if money does fall away or if finances fall away, then we'll be figuring out energetic exchange in some way. Like, it's all going to work and it's all going to be better. It's all going to be, I mean, I don't know for sure that it will, but if that happens, don't panic. It's okay. Let the old fall away, because we are all rich over here. We are all rich because richness and wealth is harmony and love and peace and unity, having everything that you could ever need, being free, meeting people, seeing the world. I mean, that's all you really ever wanted anyway, right? It's not about the power and the greed. So anyway, I am excited and nervous and all the feelings. So I look forward to supporting you all through this extremely huge transition. And I love you. So please remember to like this video, share this video, and subscribe for new videos on Sundays and Wednesdays. And then if you want to work with me one-on-one, I still have lots of services that are available at this time. You can check them out on my website. Lots of readings or healings. And some new services are being added into that I'm working on that are a surprise, and I will announce when they come out. And then of course there is the membership group, which is really cool. It's a membership group of awakened souls, and we do something every week together. So we do either an astral mission, some kind of a healing, some kind of an psychic gift unlocking. Like, we do something every single week. And so if you join in, then you'll get four events a month. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. Thank you so much. I love you.